ridiculous. As I like to say, you know, the only rhino we need in Montgomery is the one at the zoo. And we need to get that rhino out of Montgomery. And we can do it by electing Brent Woodall to the Public Service Commission next year.
I know the legislature, you know, in recent years has added a few more responsibilities to the PSC. I think there was a constitutional amendment 4 years ago, you know, where the Lakeview sewer system, you know, and there was now under the oversight of the Public Service Commission. I believe there's a similar amendment for like Shelby County sewers. Is the PSC equipped to oversee sewers and that sort of deal?
Well, you know, it's interesting, Mr. Mosley. There are a lot of things that the Public Service Commission does that some people may not know about. Like even they get into some taxi services oversight in the state of Alabama. The answer to your question is this: there is a difference between the elected officials and the staff that they have that report to them and the merit system employees. During the time that I was there, I found that the merit system employees of the Public Service Commission were fantastic, hardworking, dedicated people who get the job done. Sometimes, you know, the job does seem just a little bit, you know, too much, but they still got it done. They knew what was going on. They could answer questions when you talked about issues. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for those merit systems employees I had the privilege of interacting with while I was there.
Well, when you talked about this hidden tax and the rate they have on us, when the price of fuel goes up, does that not increase the amount of revenue or hidden tax that's on the individual tax ratepayer?
Well, here's what happens. And there's another statute that covers this. This is 37-4-23 of the Code of Alabama. And it actually sets out how much these companies that pay into the Public Service Commission have to pay. And it's based on their, let me make sure I get the language right here. It is based on their gross receipts. It starts out, I'll quote this for you, a fee of $2.85 per $1,000 for the first $100,000 or less of such gross receipts. Then it goes down to $2.35, then down to $1.85. And there's just this little scale here. But what happens with what they pay into the Public Service Commission, the Public Service Commission gets all of that money. It pays all of its bills. Then at the end of the fiscal year, it has monies left over. And that's where they get the money to send over to the general fund. That's how this actually works. So the money is going into the Public Service Commission. They use it to pay all of their operating costs, the payroll, any kind of expenses that they have, but they accrue more than they need every year. And instead of that money going back to the utility companies with direction that's a directive that says return this to your ratepayers, it goes over to the general fund, where it gets, as I say, it gets mixed up, mingled up, mashed up with all the other tax money. We'll just say that with all the legitimately collected tax money that's in the open, and it gets spent on those projects that these people may never get to enjoy.